Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Nur Aryaningsih dari Prodi Manajemen. Video ini dibuat untuk memenuhi tugas mata kuliah Bahasa Inggris dengan dosen pengampu yaitu Bapak Dr. Sugiyanta M.Pd. Langsung aja ke videonya ya. What is grammar? Grammar is the system of a language. In grammar, there are parts of speech which consist of noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. Next, the capital letter. The capital letter is also called a big letter or uppercase letter, or sometimes just a capital. When do we use a capital letter? First, for the first letter in sentence. 2. Use it for the word I. 3. Use for the name of people. 4. Use for the name of place. 5. Use for festival, holiday, days of week, and months of year. Next is noun. Common noun are words for people, animal, place, or things. For example, artist, actor, ant, eagle, zebra, deer, and many more. Next, proper noun are named for particular people, place, or things. They always begin with capital letter. For the rule, the name of country and people, the name of town, city, building, and landmark, the days of the week and month, the name of mountain, sea, rivers, and lakes, the name of festivals, some special event, and holiday. Singular noun. When you are talking about one person, animal, place, or thing. For example, a sheep, an owl, and a train. Use a for word beginning with consonant. But some words don't follow this rule, like an hour and an honor. Use an for word beginning with vowels, like an egg, an orange, and an uncle. But some words don't follow this rule. For example, a uniform. Plural noun. When you are talking about two or more people, animal, place, or things. Most nouns are made plural by adding s. Here below the rule for plural noun. Next is collective noun. Collective noun are words for group of people, animals, or things. For example, a bunch of geese, a brood of chickens, a school of fish, a pride of lions, a band of musicians, a team of players, and many more. Masculine and feminine noun. Masculine are words for men and boys and male animals. Feminine noun are words for women, girl, and female animals. For example, masculine, king, feminine, queen. Many nouns are used for both male and females. We call it common gender noun. For example, doctor, dancer, teacher, and many more. Words for things that are neither male or female are called neuter noun. For example, fire, mirror, and waterfall. Next, we have pronoun. Pronoun is a word that takes the place of a common noun or a proper noun. Pronoun. There are three groups of pronoun: first person, second person, and third person. Personal noun. First person singular, subject I, object me. Second person singular, subject you, object you. Third person singular, subject he, she, it, object him, her, it. First person plural, subject we, object us. Second person plural, subject you, object you, and third person plural, subject they, object them. For example, this is my father. He is a teacher. I have a dog. It is called Lucky. My mother is kind. Everybody likes her. Pick up your toys and put them away. You can see the pronoun form by the yellow word. Reflexive pronoun. The word myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, or self, yourself, themselves. They are reflexive pronouns that refer to the person or animal that is the subject of the verb. For example, I made this cake myself. Interrogative pronoun. The word who, whom, whose, what, which are called interrogative pronoun, used to ask questions. For example, who is he talking to? Which do you prefer? Whom are you playing with? Demonstrative pronoun. The word these, that, those are called demonstrative pronoun. They are showing words. Use these and these when you point to things near you. For example, this is my house. Use that and those when you point to things further away. For example, that is Mia's house. Next is adjective. An adjective is a describing word. It tells more about a noun. An adjective usually appears before the noun it describes. Sometimes the adjective appears after the noun. For example, a busy street, a smart dog, an old building, Mia's drawing is beautiful, and many more. Next, adjective ending. Some adjectives end in full or less. For example, careful to careless, useful to useless, and in y. For example, dirty, and in eve. For example, active, and in ing. For example, loving, smiling, interesting, and in ly. For example, lonely, weekly, daily, and many more. And in able, al, and ibal, ish, and os. For example, comfortable, musical, broken, horrible, foolish, and famous, and many more. Kind of adjective. First, some adjectives describe the quality of noun. For example, a cold drink, a hot bun. 2. Adjective origin. Tell which place or country a person or things comes from. For example, Chinese Kung Fu. 3. Some adjective tells color of things. For example, the sea is blue, roses are red. 4. Some adjectives tell about size of the noun they describe. For example, a huge balloon, small animals. 5. Number or adjectives of quantity. For example, 1 giant, 6 fairy, 10 angel, and many more. And 6. Other adjectives tell something about quantity without giving you the text number. For example, a little of rice, too much salt, some food, and a few cups, and many more. Comparison of adjectives. Used when you compare to people or things. Lots of comparative adjectives and in er. For example, small to smaller. Use the superlative to compare 3 or more nouns. Lots of this kind and in ast. For example, dark, darker, to darkest. With some adjective, use more to make the comparative form and most to make superlative form. For example, beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. The comparative and superlative forms of some adjective are completely different words. For example, good to better to best. Determiners. Determiners are words such as this, those, my, their, which. They are special adjectives that are used before noun. The article. The word a and they belong to this group of words called determiners. The word a and are called indefinite article. The word the is called the definite article. Use the the before a noun when you are talking about a certain person or things. And also use the before a noun when there is only one. For example, the sun, the moon, the sky, and many more. Determiner. Demonstrative determiner. The word these, that, these, and those are determiner. They are used to tell which thing or person you mean. Interrogative determiner. Use the word what, which, and whose before noun to ask about people or things. For example, which doll is your favorite? Possessive determiner. The word my, your, his, her, its, our, their. Use this word before noun to say who something belongs to. For example, Robert, your handwriting is difficult to read. Next is verb and tenses. Verbs. Most verbs are action words. They tell you what people, animals, or things are doing. For example, act, jump, beg, move, bend, pull, buy, run, and many more. Tenses. What is tenses? Tenses is verb form that show time. Basically, tenses divided into four: present, past, future, and conditional. Next, the simple present tense express a general truth or customary action. For example, the sun rises in the east. The simple present tense to talk about things that are planned for the future. For example, Melanie starts school tomorrow. And next, am, is, and are. They are the simple present tense of the verb be. Use the verb is with singular noun and are with plural noun. For example, the camel is a desert animal. Use is and are with the word there to say what you can see and hear. For example, there is a castle on the hill. There are some clouds in the sky. Next, the present progressive tense. To talk about action in the present or things that are still going on or happening now. For example, he is taking a walk in the park. The present participle is a form of a verb ending with ing. For example, take plus ing to taking, show plus ing for showing. To talk about things you have planned to do or things that are going to happen in the future. To form the present progressive tense, use is, and are as helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. Next, have and has. The verb have and has are used to say what people own or possess. They are also used to talk about things that people do or get. Have. I, you, we, they for plural. For example, we have art lesson on Monday. Has. He, she, it for singular. For example, she has long hair. Next, we have the present perfect tense. The present perfect tense to talk about happening in the past that explain or affect the present. The verb have and has are used as helping or auxiliary verb to form the present perfect tense. For example, Sam has scored 2 goals. The simple past tense to talk about things that happened in the past. The simple past tense is also used to talk about things that happen in story. Simple past use verb to form a sentence. For example, Pinocchio's nose grew longer every time he told a lie. For example, we drove to the safari park last weekend, and many more examples. Next, regular and irregular verb. The simple past tense of most verbs end in ed. These verbs are called regular verbs. For example, live, to, lifted. The simple past form of some verb does not end in ed. Such verbs are called irregular verbs. The simple past tense of some irregular verb does not change at all. For example, cut, to cut, beat, to beat. It's not changed at all. Most regular verbs, however, take different form in the simple past tense. For example, get, to got, lost, to lost, was and were. The verb was and were are also forms of the verb be. Was is the simple past tense of am and is. Was, I, he, she, it, singular. For example, Edison was a famous inventor. Were, you, we, they is plural. For example, we were on the same school team. The last but not last is the past progressive tense. Use the past progressive tense to talk about action that were going on at a certain moment in the past. For example, Sally was packing her books into her school bag. Michael and John were washing the paint brushes. In the example above, was and were are called helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. They help to form the past progressive tense when we join them to the present participle, the form of verbs ending in "-i".
Sekian video ini saya sampaikan. Mohon maaf apabila ada salah kata dan salah dalam pengucapan. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.